It's been 24 years since Gladiator was last in the theaters. The historical epic, directed by Ridley Scott and starring Russell Crowe and Joaquin Phoenix, was a milestone film, celebrated by critics and fans alike, earning almost $500 million at the box office and winning 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Actor, and being nominated for another 7 Oscars. That's quite the hurdle to overcome for any sequel. But here we are, a quarter of a century later, and Ridley Scott has decided to see if lightning can strike twice with Gladiator 2. So let's break down this trailer from a storytelling perspective and see how it stacks up to the original.
I remember that day. I never forgot it. That a slave could take revenge against an emperor.
Right off the bat, we have a callback to the first film with Maximus' sword hanging on the wall, clearly for the main character to use later on, and even a shot of Russell Crowe in the arena. And speaking of which, the story is all about Lucius, the young nephew of Emperor Commodus. We see he's played by a different child actor in the flashbacks, indicating that young Lucius will probably feature prominently, and not just in flashbacks to the first film like Maximus.
Where were you born?
I don't know. I never knew a mother nor a father.
Okay, this is weird. How does he not know where he was born or who his mother is? Even if she was somehow killed immediately following the first film, he was still old enough to remember these things. So either there's some completely unbelievable retconning going on here, or he's lying in this clip to hide his true identity, much like Maximus did when he was forced into gladiatorial combat. My bet is that it's the latter.
You will be my instrument.
Who are you?
Did you hear that crowd? The greatest temple Rome ever built. The Colosseum.
A naval battle in the Colosseum. A true marvel of engineering that actually happened. It's pretty cool that they're going to show this in the film.
Because this is what they believe in. Power.
Like in true sequel fashion, we've also upped the number of bad guys that the hero must face. In the first film, it was pretty much that Maximus had Commodus to contend with. Any others were less villains and more antagonists standing in the way of him finally getting his revenge against the Emperor. But here we see Pedro Pascal as a general, and not one, but 2 emperors sharing the throne, and looking decidedly more maniacal than Joaquin Phoenix ever did.
General Acacius, there are victories yet still to come.
Rome has so many subjects, she must feed them.
They can eat war!
You get the sense that though the rulers are utterly corrupt and bloodthirsty, that Pascal's General Acacius actually cares for his people and only does what he does out of a sense of duty maybe, or perhaps whatever he feels is the lesser evil in trying to balance that duty with responsibility.
The arena turns slaves into gladiators, then gladiators into free men.
You have something in you. I knew it from the start.
Did you now?
Rage. That rage is your gift.
Denzel seems to be a stand-in for Proximo, who was played by Oliver Reed in the first film. Perhaps an ex-gladiator himself, but clearly a man of some wealth and influence, who has his sights set on either power or revenge. He's obviously not a natural-born Roman, but due to his status, a citizen nonetheless. It'll be interesting to see how his character plays out.
This is about survival! Survive!
2 things to note here. 1, Lucilla is still alive, sitting in a place of honor in the Colosseum. And 2, the CGI rhino. Now, they're clearly trying to one-up the tiger scene in the first film, but that scene was a great marriage of practical footage and creative editing with a real tiger and real people. When it's so obviously CGI like here, it loses some of that feeling of danger.
Hold together, and when it charges, break for the wall. Now don't get me wrong, it's well done CG.
But just knowing that it's not actually there makes it lesser than the scene with the tiger in Gladiator.
Whose head could I give you that would satisfy this fury?
The entire Roman armies.
Too much?
The general will do.
And there we have our big showdown. From what we can gather in this trailer, Lucius was living happily somewhere far from Rome when the Roman army, led by General Acacius, laid siege to that place and destroyed all Lucius loved. And now as a gladiator, he seeks revenge, pretty much in the same way Maximus did 24 years earlier.
Rome must fall. I need only give it a push.
We make it out alive. Alright. Hands on the mausoleum floor. Blood stains the Colosseum doors.
The action looks solid, and brings up the question of why Acacius is fighting in the arena. But the real question is, what on earth is with the hip-hop music? In an instant we went from Gladiator 2 to Creed 4. It totally takes me out of the moment and doesn't fit at all. I really hope this is only for the trailer and not in the actual movie.
This ring belonged to Maximus. Now I give it to you. What is the dream of Rome? If people are not free.
Not only his sword and his ring, but Maximus's armor as well. I guess why not? It's kind of like Creed putting on Rocky's shorts.
I was owned. Now I will control an empire.
I will not waste another generation of young men for their vanity.
Strength among us! This our Rome treats its heroes!
Hands on the mausoleum floor. Blood stains the Colosseum doors. The gods have spoken!
Okay, so by the end we see that Denzel wants to be emperor, Acacius wants a return to maybe honor and responsibility, the crazy emperors want spectacle above all else, and Lucius wants his revenge. As plots go, it looks solid, if maybe a little redundant. The best sequels are the ones that break new ground, like Aliens and Godfather 2, while still staying true to the original. But based on the trailer, it looks more like this film is just treading the same ground as its more famous predecessor. And many have called it a cash grab as it's 24 years later and no one was actually asking for a sequel to what seemed like a perfectly good standalone movie. But lightning can strike twice, like in Top Gun Maverick, so it is possible, I guess. Also, though it doesn't mention it, the two emperors are brothers Geta and Caracalla, who were utterly ruthless and corrupt. So they seem like a good choice too. Maybe not as well known as, say, Caligula or Nero, but right up there as far as rotten emperors go. My only gripe is honestly the music. Like I said, I hope the actual score isn't like this and is more reminiscent of the Hans Zimmer music that was nominated for Best Original Score Oscar. I guess we'll see soon enough. But these are just my 2 cents. Give me yours. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the Gladiator 2 trailer, and if you think it'll be a worthwhile successor to the original. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell to stay updated with the latest content. Until next time, stay creative.